Hey guys, the Sports Entertainer here, back with some more wrestling news. Join us as the Sports Entertainer looks at all the breaking wrestling news and rumors you need to know, including Jade Cargill went off script at Elimination Chamber, what WWE have planned for Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 41, another cryptic John Cena post after his heel turn, and much more. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you never miss out on an episode. First up, Bron Breakker to face multiple opponents at WrestleMania 41. Now an update has been provided regarding plans for Intercontinental Champion Bron Breakker come WrestleMania 41, and clearly there is some consideration behind the scenes right now for Bron to defend his IC title in a multi-man match, with WrestleVotes reporting on a recent live Q&A on Backstage Pass. Hearing similar to what we heard last couple weeks, multi-man match for the Intercontinental title is something in the works. Don't know if it's official yet, don't know who's involved, but I do know that, at some point in time over this creative process, the idea of 4, 5, 6 guys for that title was discussed. Let us know your thoughts on this new report suggesting that WWE could be considering a multi-superstar match for the Intercontinental title come WrestleMania, perhaps including the likes of Penta, Ludwig Kaiser, Sheamus, and Finn Balor. Do you personally like the sounds of a match like this, or would you rather Bron defend the title in a singles match, potentially against someone like Finn Balor, who WWE teased on Raw will be Bron Breakker's next feud along with the rest of the Judgment Day faction? Next up, Cora Jade breaks silence after an injury halts her match in NXT. Now last night on the March 4th edition of NXT, Cora Jade faced off against Jordynne Grace, and while the match got off to a great start, about 5 minutes into the contest, while Cora Jade and Jordynne Grace were tied up in the corner, Cora said something to the referee, with Grace then being told to back off, with the referee then waving off the match, with announcer Lillian Garcia revealing that Cora was unable to continue, resulting in Jordynne getting the win. Thankfully, it doesn't appear as though Cora Jade has suffered a serious injury following this match with Jordynne Grace, as the former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion took to Twitter last night and said, "Got rocked for a sec, but my knees are all good, decent, thanks for the concern." This is relieving news, especially when rumors started swirling around last night that Cora re-injured her knee, but Fightful reported that she suffered a head injury, which Cora essentially confirmed. Now we wish Cora Jade a speedy recovery, and we hope she doesn't have to miss any significant amount of TV time. Next up, what WWE have planned for Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 41. There's no doubt that a lot of wrestling fans are still reeling in, so to speak, from Rhea Ripley's shock Women's World title loss to Io Sky on Raw this week, as it was a title change that truly seemed unexpected, especially this close to the showcase of the Immortals, and while a lot of fans are very happy for Io Sky getting a run with the Women's World title after months of proving why she belongs at the top of the WWE's Women's division, certainly there has been some concern from Rhea Ripley's fans regarding what her next step is after the devastating title loss, and according to WrestleVotes on a recent live Q&A session on Backstage Pass, the consensus is that the Io Sky vs Bianca Belair Women's World title match at WrestleMania 41 will in fact become a triple threat, with the former champ Rhea Ripley planned to be added to the match. With WrestleVotes reporting, I did want to speak on the Rhea Ripley part that you opened with. Just quickly, the anticipation is that the match will turn into a 3-way at WrestleMania. That's what I heard today. Fully expect for that match to turn into a triple threat match by the time we get to Las Vegas. That's what I was told. If the spice isn't there between Bianca and Io, don't worry. It's going to shape out to be a little different. Now this definitely makes a lot of sense, and Rhea definitely deserves to be involved with a marquee match at WrestleMania after all the work she's put in over the last year. And to be honest, while the reports suggest we'll be getting a triple threat for the Women's World title come WrestleMania, we wouldn't be at all surprised if Becky Lynch makes her return to television in the near future on Raw and gets added into this title match, potentially making it a fatal 4-way for the Women's World Championship, which would certainly be exciting. Next up, MJF reveals his shocking AEW contract value. Now, former world champion MJF is definitely one of the top stars currently performing in AEW, but while he's a pretty big name over there, no doubt most fans wouldn't expect MJF to be making anywhere near the same level of money that top stars in the WWE are earning, such as Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, or Seth Rollins. But during a recent appearance on the Sports Illustrated Media podcast with Jimmy Trina, MJF was asked about the rumor that he's getting paid $15 million per year from AEW, and while MJF didn't confirm that ridiculous number, he did confirm that his entire AEW contract far exceeds $15 million, revealing the response would be none of your business. What I will tell you is, the amount of money that I get by the time it is over far surpasses $15 million. I am making top guy money, whether it be an All Elite Wrestling contract or WWE contract. I am 28 years old. Every single top act in professional wrestling besides me is either in their late 30s, late 40s, or early 50s. For the people who are panicked, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get to see MJF outside of All Elite Wrestling? Am I ever going to get to see MJF in this place or that place? The reason I was paid top dollar is because I'm a generational talent. I won the bidding war. WWE didn't win the bidding war. AEW didn't win the bidding war. I won the bidding war because I'm making an absurd amount of money. By the time the contract is up, I will still be absurdly young, and then I will be able to once again make an absurd amount of money in the next bidding war. You know who's going to win again? Me. Now, All Elite Wrestling is winning for the simple fact that they get to have me on their television show. I am, without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest ratings draw the company has. I have been one of the top merchandise sellers since the inception. I have been a top guy in the company since the inception. Now, judging by a lot of wrestling fans' reactions to this report, it doesn't seem like many believe MJF is making anywhere close to $15 million, even if it was a 25-year contract with AEW, as they don't feel MJF adds that kind of value to the AEW product to warrant such an insane contract. Let us know if you guys believe MJF is making anywhere close to $15 million for his current AEW contract, and if he is, do you think this is deserved? Next up, Jade Cargill went off script at WWE Elimination Chamber 2025. Now, had it not been for John Cena's shocking heel turn to close out Elimination Chamber, which still has wrestling fans buzzing, there's no doubt that Jade Cargill returning to lay out Naomi would have been the biggest talking point coming out of the show this past Saturday, as it was unexpected and downright shocking in its own right, as for weeks it was teased by WWE that Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were the ones responsible for Jade's mystery attack on SmackDown this past November, which has kept Jade on the shelf all the way up until Elimination Chamber, but Jade clearly knew otherwise and attacked Naomi, who has been working with Bianca Belair as one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, while Jade was out injured. The attack from Jade Cargill on Naomi at Elimination Chamber almost seemed too real and was extremely intense. You could almost see real fear in the other competitors in the match, looking on from their pod like Alexa Bliss, who looked terrified. And on a recent edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling's unscripted show, wrestling legend Bill Apter explained how Jade Cargill's attack on Naomi seemed too stiff, suggesting that Jade may have went off script, revealing, "There's something I don't like here. When there is gonna be a sneak attack or somebody running in, why play their theme music? Number one. Number two, she had her wrestling gear on. So didn't Naomi see her backstage maybe? But it looked like a shoot to me. It was so stiff, like what Jade and Naomi went through there. I was like, oh my god. This was like real. It was so good." Now, Naomi's definitely doing her part to sell the attack storyline from Jade Cargill at Elimination Chamber, because if you hadn't seen it, Naomi attended the New York City premiere of Queen of the Ring last night, notably wearing a neck brace, keeping kayfabe alive. Next up, another cryptic John Cena post after heel turn. Now, John Cena was always known for putting out helpful, inspirational, or heartfelt messages on his social media platforms, but to say that those messages hit differently following his shock heel turn at Elimination Chamber would be a massive understatement. And these messages now have a weird vibe to them considering he's a bad guy now in WWE. And John's recent cryptic post on Twitter has certainly got some attention, with Cena saying, "How others respond to us tends to say a whole lot more about them than it does about us. Evaluate it and don't take it personal." Great advice, John Cena. It probably would have been taken better if you didn't become a supervillain at the last pay-per-view, just saying. Next up, John Cena's heel turn will be short-lived. Now, on the latest episode of his My World podcast, wrestling legend and Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett spoke a bit about John Cena's heel turn at Elimination Chamber, and while Jarrett clearly feels John Cena becoming a bad guy, heading into WrestleMania 41 will freshen up the whole WWE roster. Jeff also made it clear he doesn't see John Cena's heel turn as being a long-term thing, revealing from the creative perspective, the one thing I was taught is that when you pull that trigger on said heel or babyface, and he jumps the fence, it has the ability to freshen up the entire roster in almost a magical way. His interactions with Gunther are going to be different, you just have all kind of segments throughout the entire roster, so you have to kind of think through all that. Are there any matchups that we've missed that we should go capitalize on, should go monetize on? You could just kind of see quite a few of those pieces of puzzle already falling into place. They're banking on a massive WrestleMania. I think what Rock is sprinkled in there is that this is ultimately business-wise. Yes, it's best for the brand and lifts everything, but man, oh man, you talk about taking Cody to another level. You can see him getting a lead in a Hollywood film, like he's getting up into that stratosphere, not just the top babyface. I couldn't be happier for the guy, but man, I just think the depth of the roster and the way they're navigating things, Cody as the brand is going to benefit the most. Cena, unless he calls off his retirement tour, which he could, he's exiting. So I don't see this as a long-term heel run. I don't think he's going to break away too much from what brought him to the dance. I think it's short-term, but they're hammered down to Vegas. Now honestly, John Cena's heel turn will be short-lived because of the fact that his retirement tour with WWE will quite literally be up by the end of 2025. And do you guys think Cena should stay as a heel until his retirement tour is over, or would you guys like to see Cena turn babyface again before he hangs up the boots for good by the end of the year? And finally, is John Cena changing up his look in WWE following heel turn? Now there's no doubt that wrestling fans have a lot of questions regarding John Cena following his shock heel turn at Elimination Chamber, and how Cena's character will change in WWE leading up to WrestleMania 41, and according to one of our sources, there is speculation that Cena will be changing up his look in a big way, reporting, "Oh, so we've heard rumors backstage that Triple H and WWE are strongly considering for John Cena's look to change quite drastically following his heel turn, with the biggest change being John Cena potentially shaving his head and going bald during this heel run leading up to WrestleMania 41. WWE and John Cena are well aware of all the memes regarding Cena's massive bald spot on his head, and now that he's a bad guy, the sentiment is that John Cena will likely be embracing the fact that he's going bald and shaving his head completely, and WWE have already sort of teased this big change in Cena's appearance this past Monday on Raw, when CM Punk referred to both John Cena and The Rock as being bald frauds in his scathing promo, a potential Easter egg regarding the big change in John Cena's appearance that will be revealed soon. Do you guys like the sounds of John Cena shaving his head bald for a big change of his appearance as a heel, or should Cena keep the hair he has left? Let us know down in the comment section below. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.